everyone, and welcome back to Chesapeake Chats on the Hallmarkies podcast. Kari and Ann here with you tonight. We're so glad that you joined us. We hope that you watched episode 8 and 9. So many things happened again. I mean, whoa. These two were like, whoa.
A lot of things happening, a lot of new things happening.
A lot of new things, and big conversations and big drama. I feel like they got back to Chesapeake's big drama.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm ready for it. I was ready for it. The season had been fun, and it had been kind of reestablishing itself as a great show. And now we've got 3 episodes
dramatics.
Yeah, bring the drama. Bring it.
Oh, it's been brought. As we'll talk about, they are bringing it from all angles, all characters, everywhere.
Everybody, but it's good because they have to wrap up these loose ends. They've introduced such big things, and so now they have to wrap it up. Season is ending, so I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how they're going to do that in one episode. I'm intrigued. So I guess we'll find out next time. But yeah, let's talk about these two.
No kidding. Okay, let's jump into episode 8. And episode 8 was called Where or When. This episode starts out with that great news. Kevin and Sarah just found out that they're having a baby, or that she's pregnant. And so they are excited about that, but they don't really want to tell anyone just yet. So that's kind of where they are. Connor opens his law firm. Looks great.
Yeah, it does look great. The sign almost knocks him out, but the place inside looks great.
That's right. I forgot about that. I was like, oh no, is that a sign or what?
Yeah.
And then Mick gets these mysterious ashes sent to him. It's this total, he's like, whose ashes are these that are being sent to me with this letter? So we know that he's going to deal with that throughout the episode. Jess and David have this complainer at the inn that they have to deal with.
That was like comic relief, which is kind of like what they're doing with them now. But I like that. I was like, this really happens to people who own inns and their own places. They get bad reviews sometimes.
And then you obsess over that. You obsess over the bad review. And didn't you love how David was like, just let it go. Don't let it bother you, until he found out.
The
food was critiqued. And he was like, what? My food is great.
Yeah, my food's perfect.
So funny. So, okay. So those are just kind of a couple little storylines throughout. Megan, I keep calling her Meg sometimes, but Megan has this Carter Milburn.
Oh yeah.
This scene was small, but it was actually really important in Megan and Mick's relationship. Because it kind of comes out that this guy from New York that she has, a good working relationship with, but it kind of comes out that actually they dated in New York.
Yeah.
And
you could tell by the what do you call that? Just the chemistry. You could tell there was some kind of something when he entered, and she introduced him to Mick, and his attitude towards Mick, and just his closeness with her. You could feel that there was something there before.
Totally. There was something there. And kind of what tips you off to that too, what tipped me off is Mick's response to him and his response to Mick. And they just do not like each other from the offset.
No.
To the point where she's like, what's going on?
Yeah. She can feel the tension.
She can totally feel this tension. I thought that this was an important kind of little thing in their relationship, though, because it did bring up the fact that they had not talked about what happened in the years that they were divorced. 17 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they're bringing that up, because that would be a real issue, a real thing that had to be talked about.
Yeah.
And I feel like on this show, they've avoided talking about a lot of things. So I'm glad that they brought it up, because it's something people in that position would really face.
It definitely. And I mean, they were legitimately divorced. They weren't together. You know, it wasn't that they were just separated for 17 years.
Yeah.
their relationship was over in
Mhm.
their minds, you know?
Yeah.
So to come back and even to have Nell say, you know, this
Mhm.
is something you need to talk about.
Yeah.
And
Definitely a conversation to just have. Yeah.
right. Right. But I did think it was funny. I was like, okay, now we're having triangles for everybody, you know, like Megan and Carter and
Yeah.
Nick. We have
Yeah, it's really like, yeah, there's suitors abound in Chesapeake Shores. There's
suitors
so many.
abound in Chesapeake Shores. That is the place to go. Oh my word. So yes. Okay. So that's important for them and
Mhm.
to get their relationship going and kind of back on track. And I'm excited to see where that goes. Actually,
Yeah.
will we be privy to that relationship or that conversation or not? You know?
Yeah, that's yeah, that would be interesting if we were to see what did happen in that time for each of them.
Right.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, these smaller stories really kind of filled in but beefed up the whole, you know, storyline. But there was two people that we really, you know, kind of wanted to follow their stories. And
Mhm.
that was Bree and Abby. So let's
Yes.
talk about Bree.
Okay. That's a
Yay!
big one. It's a big one. We've been waiting for. I've been wondering how will this come out, and this was the moment.
This was the moment. I mean, first we have Connor following up with Luke about looking into parole officers
Mhm.
at the bridge. And you
Yeah.
know, he's going to do that and he's going to do it pro bono for Luke cuz Luke can't pay for it. And but he does bring up again this brotherly concern for Bree.
Yeah.
Like, have you told Bree?
Yeah.
And
Like
he's
you
like,
need to tell Brie.
you need to.
Yeah. Don't just let this linger and fester and just,
No. So he says, yes, I'm going to tell her tonight, which kind of implies that they're hanging out more. I don't know if they're like totally a couple now or what, but they're definitely everyone knows they're interested in each other.
Yeah.
That's kind of front and center. So he
Mhm.
says, yes, I'm going to tell her tonight. But the next scene that
Who
we
gets
see,
there first? Who bites the bullet first?
Jerry is back and
Wait,
Jerry spills the beans.
okay. All
Oh,
right.
actually, when I saw him back and I was like, no, he's not gonna tell her.
We're like, Jerry, come on. Don't be the bitter part of the triangle. We know you're upset. We know.
Yes. Well, we know you're upset. And like he puts it under this like concern for her. You know, I'm concerned for
Yeah.
you. And I love what she says later. She's like, it's none of your business, really. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm none of your business right now concerning this. But
Mhm.
okay, huge shout out to a friend of the podcast on the YouTube comments from 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
She
Yeah,
said
she called it. She did.
she called it. She totally predicted that Jerry, being from the same high school as Bree and Luke, quite possibly would break the news to Bree first.
First. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep. And you were right because that's exactly what happened.
that is exactly what happened.
Because I think in that episode we had talked about how will we see Jerry again? How will we see Jerry again? Will it be brief? And so she
Right.
commented this, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. We got two different scenes, I think, with Jerry, in this episode, and because of this reason. So
Yes. Exactly. And the frustrating part about this always when you hear it secondhand and they didn't give Luke a chance to tell her
yeah,
in his time and his way is that you don't get like the full story, you know, like how we
yeah,
heard.
exactly.
Yeah, like we heard the full story in episode 3.
Hmm.
So we knew he was being a good guy. He was
Yeah.
drunk. It was assault and battery,
Hmm.
but all she hears is assault and battery. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Which is in the context of what he did and just in the context of just general assault and battery is two pretty different things.
it
So that's,
is. It
yeah,
is.
no context.
Yeah. So obviously she needs time to process, but she does go to him She goes
Mhm.
and finds him at the bridge.
Yeah.
I thought that was so brave. What did you think of
That
that
was
scene?
brave. I thought it was a good scene. I thought it was
Yeah.
a real reaction because if somebody's told me that somebody, I mean, I don't know if I could get to them that quickly, I probably would just because I'd be like, I have to know more because I'm so confused. I thought I
Right.
knew you and this is like crazy information.
Yes.
And so yeah, she just went right there and she was kind of emotional and she was
Yeah.
just like so just like kind of taken back and just not
Yeah.
sure what to think.
Yeah. Not
I
sure
thought it
what
was
to
good.
think and just kind of like throws it at him. I know this. Like, did you go to prison? And his face just drops.
Yeah.
And I kind of got emotional actually for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like, no, this is not the way he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
It's
He
like,
really wanted to do it
yeah, he
himself.
did. And
Control the information and just tell the truth, but have, control of the information that the person hears because it's
yeah,
their story. I mean, it's his
yeah.
story. Yeah.
And he says, I was going to tell you. And
Yeah.
she said, well, I'll never really know if that's true or
Yeah.
not.
That
But
which is true from her point of view.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
And what he said was true. I didn't want to tell you because of how you're looking at me right now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see that disappointment,
Yeah.
that just, who are you?
Yeah.
How could you, that sense, that feeling, that
Yeah.
questioning, from you, it was going to
Yeah.
hurt me. And I didn't want to have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which was real. Yeah. So it's good. I thought it was a good scene. Thought it was
I did
honest and
too.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a great scene, great writing. Ultimately, what my anticipation of like, oh, this could be a big deal in Bree's life, Bree and Luke's relationship, and how's it going to play out? How are we going to see it? I was actually really pleased. Of course, I'm so mad at Jerry that he did that. And
How dare you, Jerry?
Jerry, nobody likes you now. I wonder what Casey thinks about Jerry now, honestly. Like, I would.
Yes, I do want to know what Casey thinks. So Casey, please let us know what you think because we do want to know.
We want to know, like, if you liked Jerry before, are you a Jerry fan still? Or at this point, are we like pro Luke, like totally behind Luke? I mean, there's still a lot that I feel like he's still pretty much a new character. Like, we're wanting to like him and give him a chance. So at this point of this episode,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, he needs to somehow make it up to her,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Majorly.
yeah, I think he majorly does. Well, let's just finish talking about them then. I mean, it's towards the end of the episode, but he shows up at her creative writing class.
Yes, I like this scene a lot.
Ew.
Really liked it. I'm like,
Tell me why.
this is well done.
Yes.
Because there's an empty seat in the class, and Bree's like, I want you to write. I forgot what she tells him to write. She tells him to write something to do with it goes with what he needs to tell her, but I forgot the topic exactly that she said.
Well, it's something that, it's a very present, like who you are now, not who you were, not who you hope to be and stuff, but who are
That's
you
it.
right now? Tell that to her, the prof. That was the
Yeah.
writing assignment, I think.
Write that
Mhm.
that to her, or just write who you are.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought, okay, this is perfect. Like, he's in there. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do the assignment too. He sits at the desk, starts writing. And then he is kind of like, I did what you asked. I've written, who I am. And I understand if you don't want to listen to me or hear me or read this. He's like, but I'll be waiting out there if you want to listen, if you want to see what I wrote, hear what I wrote, see what I wrote.
Yeah.
So.
Which I thought it was brilliant, actually.
It really was.
Yes, of the writers to do. It was a really fresh way to have a couple reconcile. It was a very Bree-centered, like he got into her world,
Yeah.
He came to her class, he wrote it out. Like there was no insecurity, like, oh, I'm not a good writer. Let me just tell you with my words. He went in and just totally did it. Like I thought, how could she not be won over by this grand gesture of him actually doing the assignment that she gave her students? That was so precious.
That was like really like like a perfect way to do it
Yeah.
for this people, for this,
Yeah.
storyline. It was
Yeah.
very well done. Writing.
Very well
Very
done.
good.
Very well done. It was really fun to watch. Fun to watch them discuss the paper. Even though we don't know what he said in the paper, we can think what he said probably just kind of told her the whole story like he told Mick that one time. But I mean, that's the past though. Yeah. Anyway, whatever it was, she was convinced that
Yeah.
she knew him now,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can move forward. She
Exactly.
kisses him.
I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked that she kissed him, especially after like this insane whirlwind of like a day or like,
Yes.
and it's like, oh my gosh, I guess emotions are just running high. And now you told me the truth and
Totally.
I feel closer to you because I feel like you exposed yourself to me.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was a surprise.
I was surprised too. I was like, "Oh!" I think I gasped out loud, like, "What? She kissed him!"
Bree with all these kisses, people kissing her kissing people. quick moments that we don't see coming.
Totally, totally. And I just loved his reaction afterwards too. And he was just sweet, kind of blushing a little.
Yeah.
Uh, but it did make him late to his meeting with Mr. Sullivan,
Yes.
the
Yes.
parole officer, which was nerve-wracking because we know how much the parole officer has it out for Luke.
Yeah, he's on him.
Yeah, but she was worth it to him. So really well done. Really good way to handle that whole conflict and then reconciliation. It didn't have to drag on. They solved it. It was one episode. Love it.
Yes.
Kudos.
Very good. Very good. Snaps for you guys.
Yep. Here we go.
Like that a lot.
Yeah. So we have Abby and Evan. I mean, right away, Abby and the sisters are talking about a business trip that she's going to do with Evan. That he wants to take her on. And the sisters just get so teasing right away. They just tease her so much.
They really did. They just started going in. Like, oh well, where are you going to be going? Oh, it's just gonna be you two. Oh well, we've seen the way that you guys seem to interact with each other, and this seems like a whisk away. Well, what's a whisk away?
She didn't know.
Yeah, they had to explain it to her.
Yeah. So do you remember a couple seasons ago when Jess went to David's family's house for the first time? That wouldn't be considered a whisk away, right?
I don't think so.
It was more
because
like
I think they were together already, so I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think a whisk away maybe it's like more to like impress somebody, and then maybe.
Okay, I see. Thank you for explaining that fully to me, Anne, because
that's just my guess. But yeah.
Okay, because I was like, Jess and Bree did that when David, like they went with David on but that wasn't romantic purpose. Like that didn't have any.
I think that was. Yeah. Is they were like, oh, he's whisking away to be romantic, which they didn't know what was going to happen, but to be romantic and maybe tell you how he feels and just be in a romantic setting with you, which is what they were thinking was going to happen.
They thought, which totally made her suspicious.
Oh yeah.
Time. So when he starts talking to her over tea, like at this getaway house that he has in Pennsylvania or something, and he starts using this language, like we've made a profound connection, like, it hasn't been that long, but
I was like, you guys are messing with us. Please stop.
I was like, what is happening?
I was like, this can't happen like this.
It's like, please don't make him do this.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
But he got called away, and she called her sisters, and she's like, oh my gosh, it might be a whisk away. What am I supposed to do? Freaking out.
So when he comes back, because now she's so convinced that he has whisked her away to like ask her like for romantic intentions, she like stops him and says like, no, don't go any further. Like she's 100% sure she knows what he's going to say. And I was so embarrassed.
Oh my gosh. I was like, whenever that happens, yeah, it's hard for me. I like start going like, oh.
I know. Like, don't interrupt him. Let him finish.
Yeah. Be patient. Just wait like 5 more words.
I know, 5 more words. Because ultimately he wanted to work with her. He wanted to hire her, take her away from her dad's company and hire her for himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is kind of precious to me because that seems to be Evan this whole season. He always assumes these new feelings that he has for her or for even Chesapeake Shores or even the O'Brien family are business related. Where
Yes.
they're not really, but he's so slow in recognizing that.
Yeah, I think he has, because of like what, his, whatever we don't know really totally yet about his family issues or family stuff. Yeah, it seems like he has a hard time like just bonding with people just because, and it doesn't have to be with work. It could just be because you want to be friends with somebody. It doesn't have to be, roped into work and have all these, strings and stuff. Like you could just be friends. And yeah, hopefully he's gonna learn that's totally okay.
Hopefully he would learn because it kind of, you see that he wants to be around her more. And his solution for that is to hire her.
Exactly.
I'm going to hire her. She's going to be on my team now. She says, no, I like working for my dad. I'm not going to leave. And he's like, what if I bought your dad's company? Then you'd be working for me anyway.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. So funny. But because she was suspicious and she interrupted him, then it did kind of get in his mind like, what if this
then he started thinking about it.
Do have a moment though at the end when she's leaving and she's going to go on to a business business trip, and he says like, what if this was a whisk away? What would you think about that?
That's
and what did she say?
Oh yeah, what did she say?
I feel
like she said it would be pretty good or something like that. Like she didn't say it would be like perfect, but I remember thinking she was like, it wasn't be bad. So it's kind of like in the middle, like it would be pretty good for a whisk away if it was, something like that. I
think it was just enough hope for him,
Yes.
Like she like gave him just, so he's like, so you're saying I have a chance,
Yeah. Because when she walked away, the look on his face was
love.
Yes, it was.
It was the look of love. He was totally into her, totally just like adoring.
He was gone, just looking at her. Yeah.
His heart was falling. All the silly Evan that we know, all the goofy smile, that he has, like that was not there. He was real in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun because I've been wanting to see some, take that goofy mask off,
Yeah. Like show us, who you are. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. Show us who you are. You are a human being. You can like admit that you like somebody, and I think he's on his way.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Very soon, I think.
Very, very. Okay. So there is some really good progression happening in that relationship. Or it's not a relationship yet, but in that pairing, with Abby and Evan. But we also have these moments with Mick in this episode. Because of these ashes that he gets, it really kind of sends him down memory lane. And the ashes end up being a good friend and bartender from Chesapeake Shores.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was basically his counselor, his therapist, through the whole Megan leaving and dad being, single dad, working hard. And he has this moment with Abby where he just kind of, he's not sobbing, he's not like breaking down in that way, but he is breaking down.
But he was he was emotional, and I was like, wow, like they've like never like really like barely talked about this topic
Yeah.
which is one of the frustrations that we had, some of the earlier seasons. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I keep saying like, these crazy hard things have happened, but nobody really talks about them that much. And so, yeah, it was good to have a moment where he was reflecting
Yeah.
on what he went through and how he felt and how
Yeah.
hard it was.
Yeah.
And, he got emotional with her with that.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking about how he was trying to be a good dad, but
Yeah.
he had a lot, he had to work hard, to make money because he was the only one. And,
Yeah.
there's a lot of kids. I mean, that's hard
Yeah.
by
And he was
yourself.
by yourself, but he had Buzz. And I guess like this Buzz really
Someone to talk with. Yeah.
helped him. And so now with these ashes, he wanted to honor Buzz and like spread his ashes in Chesapeake Shores, I guess, in the water, maybe. And
Mm-hmm.
so he takes the ashes, the urn, up in his plane. Kind of in the evening. He was just going to be gone for not very long,
Yeah.
and spread Buzz's ashes. But drama happens. Cliffhanger
Yeah.
happens.
The first huge drama for the next while has dropped.
Mick, they have lost contact with Mick, and they do not know where he is. It is nighttime, and he was last seen going off in his plane, and they don't know where he is.
They have no idea. Yeah. He has made no contact, but he's not back. And they are starting to freak out and kind of starting to get very worried.
Yes.
Where is he? Why hasn't he made contact? Why isn't he back yet? It's getting dark. I mean, it's starting to get like alarming.
And where we're at the end of the episode. We're at this family dinner, of course, the O'Brien family dinner, and they get a call, or they get some sort of news that they've lost contact with Mick. They don't know where he is. And honestly, I was so surprised that we didn't see the old school "to be continued," at the end,
honestly, yeah.
I was like, this is a classic cliffhanger episode. This is so perfect. But
it definitely was, because I was like, oh gosh, okay, when we come back or next week, it's going to be hopefully start with this.
Right. And all the previews for the next week were so like, so dramatic and so weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, super dramatic. Yeah.
Super dramatic. But you know what? I loved it. I thought it was really fun. I thought this whole episode was just like satisfying. It was satisfying how they did Bree and Luke. It was satisfying how they progressed Abby and Evan, and even bring the drama and make people come to a point where, or Megan come to a point where she's like, Mick, like, wait a minute, she's gonna have to confront some emotions. And I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah, it was I keep saying they keep doing a really good job of putting like, a lot of things in the episodes, and just really, but also like feeling like you're learning more stuff about the people, but also like, it's just mixed really like well with the storylines. I think
it is mixed well with the storylines. They keep moving people forward in realistic ways, and it's not like we always want to see like realistic things in a TV show. It's fun sometimes to see the outlandish stuff, but we've had that with Chesapeake Shores, and now do I appreciate just a well-told story.
yeah definitely
in these characters' lives. So great episode.
From the author of Miracles and Menorahs and History of Us comes a story about the changing nature of love and what it really feels like to be home for the holidays. Love and Lockcase is the third book in Stacey Agdern's Friendship and Festival series. Available on October 12th from Tool Publishing and wherever books are sold. For more information about Stacey, visit her at her website, staceyagdern.com. That's staceyagdern.com.
Episode 9. Let's move on.
Wow. Man, this is jam-packed.
Jam-packed again. So already this episode is titled, What a Difference a Day Makes. So
there's stuff coming.
Like
an avalanche of stuff.
Yes.
It's coming.
This is why, if you're listening, we hope you've watched these episodes so that things don't just like, feel like a fire hose coming at you, but if you haven't.
Literally.
Go back and watch. So obviously we open on the cliffhanger. like they hunker down for a long night of waiting for news.
Make coffee, staying by the phone, stay awake. Nobody's leaving this house.
No.
Wait here until we find out or somebody finds Dad, because they do finally get a call from the Coast Guard saying what the last thing they heard from him. Yeah. And that they are certain that they are searching for him.
Yes.
So.
Yes, which is good. That everyone's like, okay, but it also heightens their worry a little bit, but at least the Coast Guard's on the case and stuff. So what this makes Megan do though is just like leave the room, regroup. Nell follows her, and Megan's able to put words to some things that she's really feeling like, I love him. I like him. Exactly. I like who he's become, which is a cool thing to hear her say. Like, so much time has passed since they were together.
Yeah. Those were 3 very important and different things to say.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I like the man that he's become, and like, I might want to spend the rest of my life with him. She's having a moment here.
Yeah. This crisis has caused her to like, what if I never see him again? I'm never going to get to tell him these things that I want to tell him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's, propelled her to really think through that.
It did. And I was actually really pleased that we were able to see her voice that and process it with Nell, who loves her and supports her so well.
Yeah.
And not just, because like we've been surprised sometimes by this progression of Megan and Mick's relationship in season 5, where we've wanted a little more. And they're, she's at that point now. So that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, so we do get a call. I mean, they found him.
Yeah. They found him.
He's at the hospital.
And so, then the next thing you see them in the hospital. And then, bam, they don't even make us wait in the hospital for 3 hours. He's rolling into the waiting area. And you're like, oh my God.
Oh, okay. That's over. Good. All right. We're moving on now.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. We got the entry, the first 4 minutes, moving on to some more drama.
Right. That totally, he has a broken arm, he's coming out. But what I thought was so funny was how comical the scene was after, when they go home and he wants to tell everyone about he's not calling it a plane crash. Like, he's going bending over backwards.
Oh my God.
Call it a
bending over backwards.
He's like, not my emergency landing, but my necessary urgent landing, like.
And Bree's like, Dad, that's not a thing. He's like, oh, I think it is a thing. It's like, no, it's not. That's just an idiom or something, because that's not real.
And I mean, Megan, this whole time she's listening to him, she is just like, it's driving her crazy.
Yeah.
Because she almost just lost him. And so she just kind of blows up at him. There are people who love you, and like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You're not even
acknowledging. Exactly. And we thought, we really thought like you could be gone. Like you could be, that could have been it. That would be whatever the last moment we had, that would have been it for everybody, because you could have been gone.
Yeah. Like, why did you do that? Why did you even go out? And
Yeah.
So she storms off, and I loved Bree's line. She was like, she's just glad you're okay. Like, she's happy you're okay. And it's like, well, there's a little more to it than that, I think. But it was so comically written, this tense family moment. I thought that they did such a great job at balancing that tension.
Yeah, I thought it was balanced well with that.
Yeah. Definitely. So good. So Mick is back. He's okay. He's healthy. He's recovering, and we're moving on from that. He's got some things to think through. I think some heavy things, but so cute. This couple, Kevin and Sarah, were
my gosh. But the real point here is, do we ever see couples in bed? Almost never. And if we do we see the man without their shirt on? No.
We had said that we would like to see that, because that's a realistic thing, like these couples, and they gave it to us. I mean,
I just couldn't believe he had no shirt on. I was just like, oh my gosh, am I in the right station? Because I was so shocked. Like seeing him in bed was like, okay, like they're married. I know that's why they're showing them in bed and it's
yeah.
okay, and everything. But I was just like, I just couldn't believe he had no shirt on. I was just like, oh my God.
It's like, what? Oh, that's not the Hallmark way.
I was like, I don't think we've ever seen this in a Hallmark movie where the guy had their shirt on in bed.
They were having this cute conversation about cravings and what she wanted to eat, and he was going to run out and get avocados, but the scene stealer was the lack of shirt. So I mean, that's just small little blip, but
very noticeable, because I'm
there
like,
he goes.
we see skin where we don't usually see skin, so
we don't usually. I mean, it was a little shocking, but they were just so cute throughout this whole episode. He's just so tender with her and so fatherly, and she's excited, which is precious. She's also the lieutenant. I didn't say that from the last. She accepted the job, and that she's the lieutenant now at the firehouse, and things are just precious in Kevin and Sarah O'Brien land right now.
Definitely.
Yes. So tell me how cute though this other two people were, Connor and Grant.
Oh my gosh, poor Connor. Gosh, he was like, yeah, he was worried. He was like, oh no. He's like, is this gonna be okay? Like, is Grant gonna be able to answer the phone and like talk to people? He's like, she's my Gran. I can't be like, no, Gran. Like, I have no one to help you, but I don't want your help. So
I know. He is such a good grandson. He's telling her about his problems. He needs to hire a paralegal, someone to answer the phone and, do his schedule. And she's like, I can do it. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. You're putting me in a hard spot here.
Right. Totally. And he said, just for the day. Like,
yeah.
Which was a brilliant lawyer move on his part. So Grant comes in just for the day and answers the phones and starts convincing people they don't need a lawyer, just to, talk out their problems with somebody and, go back to the doctor, give it time and all of this stuff. And he is like, Grant, what are you doing?
Like, I want to talk to people. I want to have clients, you know?
But that was such a brilliant use of Gran in this episode. She was like funny and just like, she wanted to call Connor to a higher standard. Yes, you're a lawyer, but you're not one of those.
I loved when she said that. I was like, because that's true. That's why he's doing this is, he wants to just help people.
Right.
Not just charge people for complaining to him for 2 hours,
Right.
But yeah, it was, she did a great job. She
really did.
Funny.
She really did. But, the problem remains. He needed a paralegal, like a real one.
Yeah.
And my dreams came true from what I wanted to happen.
I thought about that.
Yes.
I was so glad too. I was really glad.
I mean, we kind of knew.
Yeah.
It was a loaded hope. I mean, I knew that possibly they're going to bring this character back. And then we start seeing promo pictures and stuff. And so, but I mean, what a great idea. Bring her back, bring Margaret Keller to him. And I just loved that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love
you
that
weren't
too.
surprised, of course. You weren't.
Yeah. Because I had seen the promo stuff, but I was like, oh, I'm so glad like they're bringing her back. Like I really liked her, and I liked, like how they had kind of, worked together in the, other place, and they both were like, this place is kind of shady. Like they figured it out, it's kind of shady, and so they both left, and then in she comes.
In she comes. She had quit, and she gave him this whole speech, and she told him the speech, and he's like, when can you start? Basically, like, I want you here. And it was so fun to see them working together again.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Me too.
That was good.
They're a good working relationship right now. I could definitely see it tipped, but I don't want to rush them.
Yeah.
Because, they're cute. They're really, really cute. Okay. Now on the heels of last episode, where Bree and Luke, they reconcile. She kisses him. He says, they're on their way to happiness, I'm sure. But Mr. Sullivan comes in.
Yep.
And
to ruin the mood, ruin the day.
totally ruins the mood. He comes in like the villain that he is. I mean, he is a true villain, I think.
Yeah, he is. He has that whole vibe. I mean, yeah,
He does.
And he just has this whole attitude and just, yeah.
Yeah. So he comes in and he's like listing all these things that Luke did wrong. And then the icing on the cake of that whole list, is this recent drug test that shows positive for drugs.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't do that. I don't know
like
how that's positive.
I really didn't do it. Yeah. Like that's, yeah.
And he's like, Mr. Sullivan has this like celebratory way about him. He's like, well, looks like you're going back to the North Branch, your hearings in 3 days. And the thing that I thought was so crazy was that Luke is visibly shaken up around Sullivan. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's like panting and like short of breath.
Yeah. He has like a physical reaction. Yeah.
Yes. Like a panic attack or something. You almost think he's just like, I can't go back. I can't go back.
Yeah, you can tell he's he's just very scared and frightened and just has anxiety about it.
Which I mean, I don't blame him. I think he's just playing this character really, really well. So, Bray looks at him. She's like, "Did you do it?" And he said, "No." And she said, "Okay, I believe you." Now, do you believe him, Anne?
I really want to. I think I do believe him. I really felt like he was really genuine. And I think that he should know, or anyone in his position should know, like, okay, you missed the mark. You didn't get the information first. Right. Now, like, you have to be open and honest, or it's gonna be really bad.
Yes.
It's going to be painful and hurtful. So I think he knows like he needs to be honest, even if it's hard.
Yeah. And that's why I want to trust him so much too, because I feel like last episode, they started to build something honest. And now if he's like telling everybody, looking her in the eye, looking Connor in the eye and saying, I did not do this, I'm like, please be honest. Please be true.
Please.
Yeah. So they have this whole allergy pill thing, which we saw him pop a pill for his allergies in the last episode. And I was like, what was that?
Yeah, I remember thinking that too. What was that?
Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, well, just because, drama, but hopefully it's, it was just allergy pill.
Yeah.
But they did try to look it up and see if, what was it? And whatever the drug was, if it was in that specific allergy pill, and they said it wasn't.
Right. It's like it's
something. Is it amphetamine or?
Yes, that's what it was.
Amphetamine. Okay.
That's exactly what it was. And he's like, I've never taken that, and it wasn't an allergy pill. So anyway, the 4 of them are on the case now, trying to, I guess, build a case for him.
Yeah.
But the frustrating thing is, even up until the hearing, they have like nothing. And he's like, I've got to pull something out that's more than just, this is a good guy who needs a second chance.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that's not something to build a case on.
No.
Yeah.
So here they go walking into the courtroom, and I'm expecting like I'm getting ready for this another great Connor hero lawyer.
Yeah. Speech. Like the last one he did was so good.
Like, he's got something up his sleeve. I know he does. We're going to go into the courtroom. We're going to do this. But then he faints, like he collapses.
He's like dizzy and like holding on to something. Then he thinks he's okay. He says it'll pass. And then he just like, it happens again. And he just like can't walk. And he's like, just falling down.
So Margaret gets the hearing delayed a week. I thought, does he have appendicitis? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, because at one point it did seem like he was kind of holding like his stomach area. So I thought maybe that,
but I guess not that. So he just said, the doctor said, rest, drink water, try to relax, things he's not going to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to work on the case longer and stuff like that. But he does have a private moment with Margaret.
Yeah.
and tells her
She's like, what's really going on?
right. I think that's her
What did they
lawyer
really say? Yeah.
instinct.
Probably is her lawyer instinct.
Yeah.
Like something's off.
Something's off. What's really going on? And he's like, I basically was close to having a heart attack, and he's 28. Like, bless his heart.
Yeah, I know.
He needs to slow down and relax. But that is always a hilarious doctor remedy, like just relax,
Yeah.
slow down. Just,
It's
life
like
is
it's not that
stressful.
easy. Obviously, it's why I'm having this problem.
Right. So he doesn't do that, but that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
I hope so. Yeah.
They do. I thought this was such a cute scene. They do yoga.
Yeah, I like that.
Yoga.
Try to
like
relax. Slow down your heart rate. Slow down
Right.
and hold your body. Just stretch. Yeah, relax.
Yeah. So Margaret, he was like, I don't think that works. She's like, okay, well, we'll try something else. So she's like on this mission to help him.
To try to help him to,
Yeah,
which said he has to eat better too, and really rest, like not sleep at the office, like
right
for like 8 hours a night in a comfortable bed, like
right.
drink water, not 12 cups of coffee, things like this might help.
So she also, he describes this fire pit at his home, right? And says like he loves that time with his family and that's a de-stressor. And she says, it sounds like you come from a happy family. And he just laughed. I laughed.
I'm like, this family has way more drama than anybody knows or would think to know.
Totally. Yeah. But like he has this moment where he laughs, but then you kind of see him realizing, like we're realizing as fans, actually they are starting to become a happy family, like there is some truth to that. And we are seeing this happen, some maturity and some good moments here.
Growth.
So, totally. So she is just such a great, I'm so glad she's back, Margaret Keller, for him, for the show, for the interactions that she's now having with Bree and Luke. And
yeah.
So
it's good. I'm really glad that she came back.
Well, we need diversity, and
we really did, and especially in this show.
Especially in the show, diversity longer than an episode or two. Like a main character, a steady character, and I'm hopeful that it's her.
Yeah, I am too.
Me too. Okay, so Abby was not in this show.
Yeah, I know. I kept being like, okay, where is she again? I kept thinking, oh yeah, she's still not here. Oh, she's still not here.
I know, but to get Abby out of the way really opens the doors for Mick and Evan to have these great scenes together.
Yeah.
Which are too fun because we know how much the real life Robert Buckley and Treat Williams like each other so much.
Yes, they really do.
Yeah, that came out. Okay, so let's talk about Mick and Evan and their storyline there that kind of works all throughout there. What did you think of their interactions?
I really liked it. I'm like, I want to know more about Evan. I really want to know like what makes him tick, what's going on with his whole family. Why is relationships and family dynamics and being alone, like feeling lonely, like what is all this stuff, And so, we get, times with, he comes to the house to check on Mick, quote, and then, Mick's talking to him and he's like, Evan, if you just want to come over here, like you can just come over here. You don't have to come over here and pretend to ask me 70 questions about the project. Like, you can just spend time together just because, or you could just come check on me just because you want to and just hang out with me just because you want to, like it's okay. And he's like, oh cool, that's awesome. And he like puts down his papers or whatever he had for work. It's like, like it's okay, just like just be.
Yes, just be, just like be together, build a relationship, which is so precious. They really start to, they're two workaholics really just kind of trying to balance life out in this moment. And Evan's able to come at Mick here with some, Mick is very vulnerable in this episode.
Yeah.
He starts to really consider like a life flashed before his eyes when they go see the
Mm.
plane, and he's like, this was a
Yeah.
serious accident.
Yeah. Like I could have really
Mm-hmm.
exactly what Megan's fear was. I could have really happened because
It
this is
really could have
bad.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Evan, this kind of goes back to this information that we know that he was in a serious accident that hurt his back that he
Mhm.
doesn't like to talk about, but they talk about it,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
I was like, okay, he's not going to talk about it. He's not going to talk about it. And then he actually did. And I was like,
Actually did.
wow, we like getting some good, like this story, which
Yeah.
is really sad when he
Yeah.
tells it.
I know.
That, yeah.
Well, he never knew his dad. He's an only child, never knew his dad. His mom was just was there for him. But at 18, they got in the car. And at first we don't know he's talking about his mom.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he just says she was driving. She might have been drinking, but I don't really know. Maybe she fell asleep. He didn't have a seatbelt on, and they got in a car accident, and the airbags messed up his back, and he tried to pull her out, and she didn't make it. She was gone.
Yeah.
And so Mick is like, who were you close to her? And he's like, yeah, I was, it was my mom. And
Yeah, I was so shocked when he said that. I was like, I mean, I guess I should have known because it seemed like, he doesn't have anybody anymore. But I thought maybe something else happened to, like later, not when he was 18, but like something more recent had happened to her. And maybe it's like a sister or something. But I was like, oh, but I forgot he was, only child.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
a
was so shocked.
girlfriend or something, but it was his mom. And I teared up. I really did. I was like, oh, he was so, what we see Evan's vulnerable side. We see him, this is what I'm really loving about Evan in this season. He is building a family with the O'Briens, actually. So all of his vulnerability is not with Abby. Some of it has been, but it's not all eggs in one basket there. Like
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like he's with Mick now, and he's telling Mick this story, and he's developing this fatherly relationship with Mick, and it was really tender moment.
It was. I was moved. I thought it was done really well. And and even Vic responded to him. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like that's just I can't, imagine. That's so hard. So
and Mick has really just, his character has gotten so deep, I think, this season, just with the ways that he's been there for Luke, and then Abby, and then now Evan, and he's really kind of considering what's important, and he's getting vulnerable. And I like that. I like to see that growth, because it's true in life. We never stop growing.
Oh yeah, never. Yeah.
No matter age, no matter what stage of life we're in, we really never should stop growing. It's a very healthy
exactly. It's
process
a healthy thing for us to do.
Yeah. So to see that in him has been awesome. They ended hilariously to me, like their day together.
Yeah.
Evan's asking about Abby, and he's asking, when she's back. 4 days. Oh, it's been a long time, and he says, what would you think if I took her out? And Mick's like, what? Like,
out where?
Yeah. He's like, out to dinner, out to coffee, out to lunch, whatever. And Mick says, are you asking me to court my daughter? Court.
Yeah, it's very old-fashioned term.
Totally old-fashioned. He's like, yes, I am asking you to court your daughter. And so funny. Nell comes out, and she's like, yes.
I know. Nell's listening everywhere in this episode, behind walls, just,
She is. She was quite the comedian this episode. So she gives an emphatic yes for Evan to court Abby. So whatever that's going to look like.
Yeah. That was I was like, okay. And he can't, because the way he said 4 days is long. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's smitten. He's like, because treats or not, Mick's like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess almost a week, I guess, but it's like, yeah, like 4 days isn't really that long. You just really miss her because
you just miss her. You miss her. Yeah. Oh, that was super cute. Oh my goodness. So funny. Okay. tell us about Mr. Peck, this random weird
That is
Mr. Peck
weird.
call.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so David is in town and he gets a call from his dad, and we see, we see his dad on the phone also, and he's just like telling David how, he's come into some trouble.
Yeah.
And he's kind of hesitating and kind of talking. He's like, "Dad, like, what do you mean?" And he's like, well, there's some stuff that's going to come out, and just don't believe everything that you hear.
Yeah.
I've made some bad, business, just
Yeah.
deals or decisions. And, and David knows his
Yeah.
dad is not one to like talk about like serious stuff or like
Yeah.
open up. And so he's like, something must be wrong.
Yeah.
And then David late tells Jess that he told him that, that he loved him at the end of the call. And he's like, Dad, he doesn't do that.
No.
So he's like, he's worried.
He's
Understandably
worried.
so. If somebody acts totally out of character and is saying stuff like that, you're like, okay, what's about to happen?
Yeah. Because it felt like goodbye. I mean, that's dramatic, but that's kind of
Yeah.
where my mind went. Like it felt like goodbye or something.
Mhm.
And now we see that David can't get a hold of his dad, and he
Yeah.
doesn't really want to tell his mom because he doesn't know how much she knows. So, little sadness there. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on with the Pecks, but that was brief, very brief at the end. So
It
maybe
was, yeah. It was like kind of like, okay, we're dropping this in there for next time kind of thing.
right. So, okay, the final scene is Megan's art show, where that she has had the storyline throughout the whole season, where she has Arthur Driscoll's paintings. She has this
Yes.
art show now that she has set up on display. This wonderful Chesapeake Shores artist, and it's a success. It's a hit. Everyone comes out and they love this culture. So it's culture on Chesapeake Shores. Gran and Arthur have another little date.
Yeah.
I guess they have a little
That's what it looks like. They're
little wine dance.
dancing, and yeah, it was cute. I thought it
Kind
was
of
so
cute. People liked watching. Yeah, they watched her.
Yeah, everyone was watching them.
That was fun. But with I think the great scene at the end was Mick and Megan when he said, he's like looking at her and he's all serious and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, let's do this. Let's take some time off. Let's go travel the world like we always wanted. What would you think of that? And she says, yes, she wants to. So they are definitely still not declaring feelings, but these planning future
Yeah.
future
It was a nice moment.
Yeah.
That was nice as well. Yeah.
That was a sweet moment, but we do end on another cliffhanger.
Yes.
Sarah like faints. She faints now, and has this pain, and
She touches her stomach, and then she just like faints.
And Kevin is over her, and then it's like blackout, and it's like, oh no. They had such a great episode. They were so happy. They were so cute.
I know that I'm worried. I'm not worried, but I'm like, oh,
I know.
I thought we were going to be clear of this, but I guess, that's not really how that stuff works in real life.
I know, it's true. I'm like, why can't you just be happy?
Yeah.
But
gosh, I hope it's going to be okay.
I feel like at this point, if I can't trust the writers, then I don't know what I'm doing, because I feel like I can't.
Yeah. I mean, they've written some great stuff, so
they have.
I think she will hopefully be okay. Maybe they'll just tell her like she needs to be careful with certain stuff, but hopefully she'll be okay. But yeah, they've done a really good job, because it's so much better and so much richer and just so much more. So
it's so much more, and I think that is a great way to say it. It's just so much more. So it is a more fun show to watch. There's more comedy, there's more depth of character, there's more realistic, things.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is more. And I think we are primed and ready for the season finale.
I think so. I mean, like, I was worried because they got like all this stuff happening, but
yes,
it seems like in episodes they pack so much stuff in, and I don't even realize how they do it in that short.
I know.
But they do it. So I trust them to, solve most of this stuff.
They're going to solve what I want to see in next week's episode, which is less than a week away, is a courtroom scene for Luke with Connor and Margaret. I would love to see a courtroom scene. I need to know if Sarah and the baby are okay.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
I don't know how Abby's going to react to Evan's courtship.
I don't either. I really don't. I don't know.
She's a modern woman, I'm like, courtship. This is so funny.
Yeah, that is weird.
What else? What would you like to see in the finale?
Let's see. What did we just say? Oh, okay. I do want to know what David's dad is talking about, what he did, like where they're kind of going with that.
Yeah.
Because obviously we know his family is very rich, has a lot of money. And, is there something sketchy that he did with some company that's not, like what's that? I do want to kind of know what that is. Yeah. Not like I don't need to see too much of it, but I would like to at least know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I do want to see, I am dying to see. I just hope Abby, please don't laugh at Evan's face. Like he's actually way more sensitive than he seems. Totally. Because my heart will just break for him. So.
Totally.
I know it's hard for him to take her. It's hard for her to take him seriously.
Yeah.
Just from
what we do know, and what we've all come to expect as Chesapeake Shores fans, is Abby gets a kiss at the end of the season. That's what I know. That's what I'm expecting. She usually kisses Trace. He's gone. She can't kiss Trace. And so, okay, like, is this going to happen for them, or would that be too fast? I mean, we're not.
I don't know. I know. That's what I'm worried. I get worried about when stuff like that happens. I'm like, okay, so we're not promised season 6. So how are they going to end this?
I know. Well, I'm ready. I'm excited. And it's like we said, it's less than 1 week away. We will be back with Chesapeake Chats next week to discuss the finale and discuss the whole season. We've got some fun stuff planned as far as some other podcasts to go to. So we will be back, but stick with us. We're excited about the season. I'm so
excited about the finale. See what happens. Where everyone lands.
Yeah. Where does everyone land? How does it set us up for a great season 6? I mean, we're ready. So, Anne, where can people find you on social media?
Okay. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at awscott21.
Great.
What about you?
Yes. Come over to Instagram and find me at Hallmark Comics. I would love to interact with you there, but also be sure to subscribe to the Hallmarkies Chesapeake Chat YouTube channel. Well, it's not, it's a Hallmarkies podcast. So subscribe to that so you don't miss any more Chesapeake Chats podcasts that we do. Leave a comment, leave a review on iTunes if you're listening there. Definitely find Hallmarkies podcast all over social media. There's Twitter, there's website, there's Instagram. We cover all of your Hallmark wants and desires. We really try to deliver on all of that. So we will see you next week for the finale of Chesapeake Chats. Bye.
Bye-bye.